channel Capri Social Network. So in today's video, I wanted to speak on behalf of Miss Kamala Harris due to the upcoming presidential election being only 5 days away, and give my take, everybody, on why I think that she's full of crap. First and foremost, I wanted to talk about during the George Floyd unfortunate tragedy, she claims to have said that, well, she came out and said actually how the police at the time, she felt like they needed to be demilitarized. And not only that, but defunded, only to call herself denying and backing up her claim that she didn't say at the start went. And now all of a sudden, since she's running for president, vowing to have it where police could be able to get rewarded on behalf of their efforts in protecting our neighborhoods and communities. The same lady who said allegedly how the police needed to be demilitarized, and both demilitarized and defunded, right around the same time that the George Floyd tragedy happened. And I want to also give another reason why I feel like she's full of crap. At her most recent rally, and I do mean a very recent rally, she happened to be speaking, happened to be campaigning, and there happened to be a person in the audience who happened to yell out "Jesus saves" or something to that effect, something pretty spiritual and religion, only to say that they were at the wrong rally. Meanwhile, she's been going around as of recently, and I came across one particular reel of her speaking and campaigning at a church in Pennsylvania, somewhere in Pennsylvania. Now, judging from my understanding, this was a few days right after the rally where somebody hollered out in from the crowd and onto the stage to her how Jesus saves or something to that effect, and she said they were at the wrong rally, which is another perfect example and case in point of how she is full of crap. Not to mention how in a most also recent interview about the condition and the president of the current president, Joe Biden, when asked about his current health status and the future of his presidency, during the interview, she was just thinking of lies to say. Not only that, but she hardly made any kind of eye contact with the person who interviewed her either, which is another perfect example of how she's full of crap, yet and still wants the quote-unquote black vote, because she's been going as of lately to certain HBUs around the country, and it's one particular reel where she was in line dancing when some students doing a line, some kind of line dance. The same exact woman and current presidential nominee slash candidate, who a while back during another interview was said on national TV how she didn't plan on doing anything for the benefit of the black community. She said it out of her own mouth, because you could look it up. And that's another example of how she's full of crap. This same current presidential nominee and vice president, who claims that she loves soul food so much, collard greens specifically, to the point where it would be times where she would cook so many collard greens for people, for guests at her house, to the point where she would have to wash them in the bathtub, not realizing how ridiculous, unsanitary, and delusional she sounded by saying that. The same lady who didn't deny her Indian heritage at all when she was interviewed another time on behalf of being at, I believe, some kind of Indian rally or summit. Someone who up until prior to this year, all of a sudden wants to be so black, so to speak. Although she's only, and judging from my understanding, her father's heritage, who is clearly not black. If you don't believe me, and if you want more proof of how her father is not black, look up his birth certificate, and that'll tell you all the details. She's someone else who claimed to had taken a picture when her father's mother, her paternal grandmother, and the picture has went viral only for the picture to be photoshopped, because the same woman who she claimed to be her paternal grandmother, who appears to be a black lady, happened to die some years prior to her birth. Happened to die, in other words, some years prior to Kamala Harris's birth. You don't believe me? Just go and listen to a recent Candace Owens video on behalf of her, showing full proof of how the lady that Kamala Harris claimed was her paternal grandmother and took a picture with is not actually, or was not actually, her paternal grandmother. Which is another example of how Kamala Harris is full of crap. This same lady also had the nerve to have Megan Thee Stallion perform at a rally around a month or so ago. And Meg Thee Stallion, she's pretty popular in the hip-hop community, but at the same time has a reputation of being a whore, a slut, 304. I could go on and on. And that makes me wonder, why would she invite Meg Thee Stallion out of all these other performers to perform at her rally? Could it be due to the simple fact that at one while she was Mr. Willie Brown's side piece? And for some of you who don't know about Willie Brown is a former California politician, a former mayor of San Francisco, California, who she happened to cheat on his wife, cheat with. If you get where I'm coming from, in other words, he was married and was seeing Kamala Harris on the side. They happen to have sexual relationships with each other as well, which is another example of how she's full of crap. And even the people, more and more people are beginning to see how much full of crap that she is, because as of lately, I've been seeing social media reels on her being booed as of lately at some of her current rallies, because they know for a simple fact they've been doing research, and with social media, it's hardly nothing at all that can't be exposed nowadays. They know, trust me, y'all, that she is very full of crap. The people that have been booing her at her rallies, and she has even went as far as, judging from my vantage point and my research, as having AI generated pictures of her crowds that have been lining up to see her at airports, rallies, and on, showing proof of even more of how full of crap she is. Anyways, I'm going to end this video, but before I end the video, make sure you like the video, you comment on it, you share it. Last but not least, you subscribe to the channel. And until next time, you guys have a good one and be safe.